Hello and good evening, everyone. I'd sit down right now, but someone has, I'll say, chair bombed me while I was out of my office. I'm leaving the door open because he he doesn't like being alone. So I'm gonna say, everybody say hi. This is Kai. He's gonna be guest starring tonight, and I love him. And that's the meowing some of y'all may have heard from. I don't have soundproofing just quite yet. And that said, if he does jump on my desk a little too much, I may have to unfortunately kick him out. But I brought his tower in, so he's going to be at least somewhat entertained because he gets to think on the election results. Yeah, and that's very awesome, Will, that you are working the polls. And tonight is election night, and therefore it is a black tie event. Today we're sponsored by Monster Energy because, yeah, I need my caffeine if I'm going to be live streaming this late at night while I need to work. And honestly, I've never had a problem going to sleep after a lot of caffeine. And I'm not actually sponsored by Monster, it's just I'm making a joke. So as you can see, we've got hi there. Um, we've got the early states that first close their polls: Indiana, Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Vermont, as well as of course the Senate seats for both of them. This is I want to say this is class 2 or 3. I forget which class it is, but we've got both the double barrel election down in Georgia. We've got South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky. For the House, we've of course got the seats that are going to be in the first poll closings up and unblacked for right now, as well as Vermont's governor and Indiana. We're going to be tracking all of them as best we can. Campaigns have made various overtures. At points, the Trump campaign has said Virginia's in play. The Biden campaign has said that both South Carolina and Georgia are in campaign, and you're not allowed up there. Yeah, sorry, this is life with a cat. If anybody remembers the, hey, and you can stay there. You can stay there. If anybody remembers the Most Interesting Man in the World commercials from a while back, there was one where he had a pet cat, and his pet cat could not be kept off of tables and counters. That said, unlike mine, his pet was a mountain lion, so also rocking the I voted sticker. If we go down to Senate, some Democrats have said that Kentucky is in play. They've said that both Georgia races are in play, as well as South Carolina. I think most people are expecting the Georgia special election to go to a runoff. I don't really think that South Carolina is in play. I think it'd take a small miracle for Harrington to win, or Harrison to win. Sorry. Harrington is the Libertarian in Arkansas's race. There's not many competitive seats in this batch. Georgia 6th, which is right. No, that's the 7th. That's 4th. This, no, 11th. Where is 6th? Yeah, here's the 6th, held by Lucy McBath. John Lewis held the 5th in Georgia. That is not really a competitive seat. Is like it to be competitive. Joe Cunningham in South Carolina's first. No, you're not allowed. That's my laundry money. Dang it. Anyway, Joe Cunningham in South Carolina's first but that's really it for competitive seats, except for maybe Virginia's second. I'd make an argument for Virginia's 7th, and I think most people would say Virginia's 5th is also competitive. But yeah, I like Nick Freitas, who is running against Abigail Spanberger in the 7th in Virginia. So yeah, that's kind of where it sits in. And the governor's race is the only really competitive race, I think, is, well, they're not really high. Yeah, sorry. I kind of actually need to see the comment section. Oh, you want to go hide in the box? Go on. You can be in the box. Life with a cat, right? All right. So the two sites that I'm going to be using to track the votes are Fox News here, and they report these, and so I'll go to that in just a second, and also New York Times, which I'm going to be using is just kind of a little follow-up. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to wind up being, Will Church. Virginia and Vermont are almost certain to go for Biden, and I go with, yeah, I'm with you on that, Accord. Now, I have the 2016 results up for a fair comparison to look at how each candidate is doing in the counties, because I think that's actually important. So let's go ahead and look at, okay, that's nowhere near in. Franklin County is 75% in. Let's go ahead and check. Jefferson, where's Franklin? That's Shelby, Bullitt, Anderson, Nelson. Where? Okay, let's actually look at that. Anderson County. Okay. Fayette County, Rowan County, Franklin. Okay. No, you are not. No, God. Thank you. Wow, that was nice. See what I mean? Okay, so Franklin County, Trump won that very narrowly, 11-10, with a bunch of third-party votes. So we look at Franklin County, Biden's at 11, so Biden's actually improved on Clinton's margins. Trump has not reached his 2016 numbers, so that's going to be interesting to watch. If we look at Bath County, which is almost completely in, Trump has actually surpassed his 2016 numbers and is about at the same percent as he was in 2016. If we go back and look at Elliott, he's actually running ahead of where he was in 2016 there. And then we look at Elliott County, which had a very long streak where 2016 was the first year ever it voted for a Republican in the presidential race. If we look at, where's Elliott? There's Frank. Where's it? There we go. Here's Elliott. And Trump is, I think, nearing that 2,000 mark in Elliott. No, he's halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. All right. So, kind of what I'm going to be looking at is how they're doing, how each candidate is doing, how Trump is doing relative to 2016, and how Biden's doing relative to Clinton. Mostly in terms of percent, but also looking at the raw numbers, though I highly expect both candidates are going to okay. How both candidates are going to do relative to how Biden's going to do relative to 2016. All right, so let's look at the House. I do not know which House seat that is, so that's very nice. By the way, so we're going to go and zoom out here. So Trump got 1.2 million votes in Kentucky, whereas Clinton got 628,000. So, yeah, about 0.62. And if we look at it so far, well, neither candidate has gotten very high, so yeah. So New York Times, their reporting is a little bit behind, but I really don't expect anything. Okay, so you're in Cincy, ain't you? All right. Okay. Look at both of these states. And we look at New Hampshire, by the way, there's only 2 towns that have voted. And, well, one of them voted overwhelmingly for Trump. One of them voted unanimously for Biden. And they're both in the extreme rural reaches of the state. Extreme rural northern reaches of the state. And they cast their votes in the snow, which is pretty cool. There we go. Obviously, as you can see, like I said earlier on stream, I am rocking my I voted sticker. And I think this is just based off of which counties have reported yet. And yeah, I mean, that's to be reasonably expected. Okay. Almost 120,000 votes in. That said, it's 4% of precincts. And 10% in Kentucky have reported. Let's go and see. It's mostly from Fayette County, Franklin County, and Kenton County. Well, no, Kenton hasn't reported a lot. Elliott so far has the most precincts reporting. Looking at this, I think Trump is actually doing relatively well in most of the rural parts of the state. Franklin County is not a good one to lose, but it's also one of the ones that I think was a little bit of a shock that he won in third-party vote may have helped him in that state. Go to Indiana. Let's see. Nothing from Vigo County. Vigo County has a long history as a bellwether county for the nation, and whomever they vote for is who the nation tends to vote for, at least in terms of the Electoral College. They voted with the eventual winner for a very long time, since the 80s, or maybe even longer than that. Dubois County, okay. I want to look for the one with the most reported so far. 69%, nice. Okay, 69% in Wabash County, nice. Likes, comments, subscriptions, they always help, and I greatly appreciate them. DeKalb County and Steuben County. I'm assuming that's named after von Steuben, the Prussian general who helped George Washington. Okay, let's look at Wabash County. See what Trump did in 2016. 9,800 votes. And what is he doing now? He's at 73. Biden's at 28. Versus what did Clinton get? Okay, so both are nearing Clinton's numbers. And let's be honest here, both are going to surpass Clinton's their 2016 numbers. Trump, of course, surpassing his own 2016 numbers. Biden is going to surpass Clinton's numbers overall. All right. So, well, at least you're having fun. And likes for the cat. Yes, very much. We want likes for the cat. We want likes for Kai. Comments for Kai, and just overall fun. Okay, yeah. Okay, a lot more of Kentucky is starting to come in. And, I mean, I don't think anybody really thought that Kentucky was in play. Truth is, I don't think anybody would be too shocked about Trump winning Indiana overwhelmingly. And I'm going to be trying to be as fair as I can when I call states. I'm not going to call them without a good reason. So I may leave states a little bit longer than I think maybe some people would, and before I do call them, and that's what these are going to be. So I've got a too close to call category. Of course, we've got Donald John Trump versus Joe Biden with their VPs, and poll's not closed yet. Poll's still open. Poll's still open. Poll's still open. Now that's called professionalism, having one different than the other. Okay. And we got another massive dump of votes. Okay. It's a little interesting. Still 27%. 16% in Montgomery. Okay. Fayette. I don't think anybody really expected Trump to win this county. But Trump does need to be somewhat competitive in Fayette County in order to win. In order for it to be a good sign for him. For example, in Fayette County, Clinton got 69,000 to Trump's 56,000. And if we look currently, Biden's already at 61, Trump is only at 20. I'm not going to use this as a sign of panic because Trump is also far exceeding in certain counties. If we look at Elliott County, that hasn't changed yet. Sorry, that's Bath County. Elliott County is this one. Yeah. I'm wondering if Fayette County's results are predominantly from its urban center of, I want to say that's Frankfort, Kentucky. Because Louisville is in Jefferson County. So we'll see. Obviously, there's going to be a few interesting ones to look at. Really, Trump won Galax. Huh, interesting. I knew he won Bristol. Yeah, he really won Bristol. Good Lord. Martinsville, Henry, Pennsylvania, Montgomery. Yeah, I remember that. Actually, honestly, Radford voted to the left of Montgomery. Montgomery is going to be a county to watch because if Trump is overperforming in Montgomery County, that's a very good sign. Because Montgomery County tends to not just vote like Virginia as a whole in a lot of ways, but it has a massive college town. So if Trump is outperforming in Montgomery County, that's going to be a very good sign for him because that's Blacksburg. And Blacksburg has Virginia Tech. Another place to look, I would say, okay, well, he's having fun. Rona, okay. Another Virginia Beach is going to be one to watch. I would say. And yeah, we're about 10 minutes away from polls closing. 10 minutes away from the first polls actually closing. Okay, Kentucky is still doing its own damn thing. Indiana is there. Okay. That's weird that they went back on that one. Okay. Yeah, the things are a little weird. And if we look at counties, ooh boy. Yikes. That's going to be a mess to look at. I'm not ever going to flip that one back. We'll see what happens. Looking at this. Okay, what is that? 57% and 62% are the numbers to watch in Indiana and Kentucky. Georgia, okay, 54. And Virginia, it's 44. Okay. 47. Yeah. I mean, really, basically, what you want to look for is who's overperforming 2016, right? Yeah, I know. If Biden's up in Kentucky, that's it for the Donald. There's no way he can win this. Oh, and guess who is on his tower? You like that? Oh, he's giving himself a bath. All right, Kentucky's 14% in. I bet that was a dump in Fayette. No, it wasn't. It was not a dump in Fayette County. Interesting. Let's go back. Only the cities have voted blue. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the other what Franklin County in Kentucky is. What city there? Because here's Franklin. Okay. Jefferson, yeah. Yeah, I mean that is true that the cities tend to vote for Democrats, though there are exceptions. Jacksonville, Florida, historically, that's Duval County in Florida. Spokane and Washington. Virginia Beach is a notable Republican city. Tulsa, Oklahoma. I want to say it's Overton Park in Kansas. Oh, yeah. Oh, bless you. I heard that sneeze. Uh-oh. He's got the Rona. I'm just kidding now. I've been very careful. KeyCat is, yeah. Kai is very happy. Bless you. I cleaned this weekend. You shouldn't be sneezing. You should not be sneezing. Prediction, honestly, my model says Biden is a slight favorite, and I'm not sure I entirely disagree with that. Does Trump have an absolutely very realistic path to victory? I think a person would be crazy to rule it out. And a lot of people I've spoken with who are Democrats have said that they kind of have a gut feeling that Trump is going to win somehow. Of course, even though I do live in a very red part of Virginia, the reddest, most conservative district, I do live within, I'll say, spitting distance of two colleges. I live in a reasonably Democratic leaning area within a sea of red, within an ocean of red. And it's not just red like, it's Marianas Trench deep red. If you step outside and go to, say, one of the neighboring counties. Go over here. We'll see. Just looking at some things that have going on. In about 5 minutes, I'll actually be making probably the first calls of the night. We'll see. Vermont has yet to report any results, but that's because they're typically pretty tight-lipped and not. They're not the type to start releasing results early. They want to be on time or whatever weird thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm basically going to use these two, and if they show very similar results, and I think it's enough to make a call based off of, I'm going to actually make that call. So we'll obviously see what happens. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, the 3 states that I am going to be putting the most focus on are Florida, Ohio. I'm going to say Wisconsin, though you can make a very good argument for North Carolina. The reason I say Wisconsin is their governor said that he's going to try and have, or he hopes that Wisconsin's results will be at least unofficial by noon tomorrow. And that's Tony Evers, a Democrat there. Ohio is a state that if Trump is doing similarly well in terms of margin to how he was doing in 2016, I think there's a very good chance that he could hold at least one of Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Florida's early vote numbers have looked at least reasonable for Republicans not getting blown out in those, which is very good because Republicans have always said that their voters are going to turn out heavily on Election Day rather than mail-in or even the early vote. I would, I think Virginia 7 and Virginia 2 are going to be competitive districts, and I'm going to try and avoid making any comments about whether or not I would like to see anything happen. I just want to see a peaceful election result. But yeah, I definitely think Virginia 7th and Virginia 2nd could flip. But there's also very good arguments that the 5th could flip. And who knows, honestly. This has been a crazy year, so I'm almost half expecting a very crazy result. And we'll obviously see how things go. And Keycat decided he wanted to leave and head somewhere else. He thought, God, this guy is crazy. Live streaming on YouTube in a bow tie? What's wrong with him? And it's this, by the way, this is a real bow tie. This ain't one of those cheap clip-on or zippy up ones where you put it on and then tighten it. No, this is a real one. I actually do know how to tie one of these. So yeah, we'll be taking a look at seeing what actually happens. Stuff. So if we look at the exit polls, yeah, they haven't been released. That's honestly what I expected. Yes. To quote Doctor Who, bow ties are cool. Bow ties are cool. So 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and let's go ahead and take a look at this and just make sure everything looks kosher. Honestly, I'm not seeing anything where Trump is actually going to be in trouble. And if we go up to Indiana, looking at this, I I don't really see anything to indicate. I'm going to zoom out, and I'm actually going to make the first calls of the evening in Indiana and Kentucky. And also, I'm just automatically going to fill in Vermont. I don't think anybody would argue that it was in question. Um, South Carolina hasn't reported anything. Georgia hasn't reported anything. There was argument that these were competitive. I want to look at Virginia, and I'm actually shocked they're immediately calling it for Biden here. Um, Without any results reporting, this could mean that based off of exit polling that they suspect Biden has done significantly well. I am not 100% entirely sure that's a fair thing to do. I'm not going to put South Carolina or Georgia into the too close to call, and the same thing with Virginia until I start getting returns in, because I don't think that is fair. I don't think that's a good call. But Fox News, by the way, is typically very on the point when it comes to calling states as correctly as they can. And okay, so in the Senate, they must have called a race. I wish they would tell us which Senate seats they've called. I would love to see that. I would suspect it's Mark Warner if we look at the Senate results. By the way, I am personally calling Mitch McConnell the winner. Okay, Mark Warner wins re-election in the Senate. That's shocking considering there's still no votes put out. And it's historically been a competitive race, at least in the modern era. Florida actually has some returns. Did polls close in Florida? Oh, parts of Florida and parts of New Hampshire. Yeah. Wow. That's, by the way, this is everything west of the Panhandle. Florida punches a button, basically, and all the early votes they've gotten, all the early votes that they've gotten and processed, which includes counted, actually get filled in. And the fact that Trump is up in the early vote and the counted mail ballots so far, that is a bit of a shock, I'll be honest. So, but then again, it's saying Brevard County and Flagler County. Yeah, they called Kentucky. I expected that. I personally called Indiana already because I don't see anything. Okay, New York Times is getting something different. Pasco County, Lee County, and Brevard County. Let's go ahead and check from 2016 and look at Florida. In Brevard County, Trump had 181 to 119. So let's go ahead and take a look. What they're saying, 154 to 127. So Joe Biden is actually improved in the raw numbers. We'll see what happens in Brevard County when when they start getting more votes. They say that 73% of estimated votes, 76% are reported in Lake County, which it looks like if we go into Lake County, 102 to 62 if we look here. 69 to 87, that is an improvement for Joe Biden. 130 to 101 in Pasco County. If we go to Pasco, 142 to 90. Again, this is encouraging for the Biden campaign, I would say that. And then if we go to Lee County, which is very close to, whoops, sorry, that's Pinellas. Whoopsies. Me getting confused by geography. And, yeah. 185 to 138. Currently, what was in 2016, if we go to Lee, 191 to 124. So, again, improvement, it seems, for Biden over the... It is definitely an encouragement for the Biden campaign. Let's exit back out. Virginia, no votes reported. See, this is why I like the New York Times, is unless the state was dead certain, they don't call a state without votes returned. All right, so Fox is saying that there are returns in Virginia, but where are they from? Here's one. Richmond County. This, by the way, that's not actually Richmond. Richmond City is here, right next to Henrico. Richmond County is completely different. 1,200 to 1,000. Where's the rest of the votes coming from? Is it one of these tiny ass independent cities that pisses everyone off? Let me zoom out. Oh no. It's literally just Richmond County. Okay. So let's go ahead and zoom out and look at Richmond County. How they did. Where's Richmond? Richmond County, 22 to 13. Okay. So let's go back to Virginia and check out Richmond. 12 with only 16% reporting, 12 to 1. So if that's anything to go off of, Biden is definitely going to improve on Clinton's margins there. We'll obviously see what happens over the course of the evening. Zoom back out. And take a peek. Currently, Trump leads the national popular vote, but I don't think anybody expects him to actually win that. The great Adini, I'm just going to flat out say this. We're trying to be unbiased election viewers here, and we're just trying to recall what gets, talk about what gets reported in terms of the vote numbers, and I'd say this to anybody who said the same thing about Biden. So, have fun with that. All right. Screven County, Georgia, or Screven County, Georgia. 21 to 12. Okay. By the way, 2112 is the best album ever. 33. Whoa, that's all the votes. 33 to 23. Okay, so 58 to 40, if we look at that. Oh, whoopsies. Trump is up in terms of raw votes, and he's doing okay in terms of margin, I would say. So we'll zoom back out and go back over here. See what the New York Times has done. Okay, interesting lawsuit just filed in Nevada by the Trump campaign. Oh, that's actually interesting. Huh. Trump campaign asking Clark County, aka Las Vegas, to stay open for an extra hour because of technical difficulties in the county. That is a very interesting lawsuit, because that would mean that the Trump campaign actually genuinely believes that Hispanics are flocking to him. Whether or not this is accurate is a whole different story altogether. Okay, so we've got some results from South Carolina, 184 to 150. Okay, that's useless. Those are useless numbers. By the way, KeyCat is sitting behind the computer now, which is fantastic. Let me just quickly check this. Okay, I've got plenty of power. Okay. No. He's yeah, Virginia. I don't think anybody really thought Trump. Any non-biased commentator thought Trump was gonna actually carry Virginia. I certainly didn't. But like I said, polling and the model I generated think that Biden is a narrow favorite to win the election. However, I don't think, and I don't see enough to think that it's going to go other than that. But yeah, it's entirely possible that Trump could win. I'm not going to say that that should be discounted or ignored. I think it'd be unfair to anyone to say that it's impossible for him to win until a major swing state that Trump needs to win is called. Well, you may just get your wish about Kai walking in front of the computer because, yeah, he's, well, hi. How are you doing? Yeah, hi. Hi. Meow. Yeah. And people want to hear what you have to say about this. What do you have to say? Nothing? Meow. No, he's just confused. He is just confused. So I'm gonna set him down now. Oh, now you want to talk. Now you want to talk. So my local GOP has been going around and giving a lot of people just free waters, and Kai's favorite part of the day has actually been getting his Trump water. Because I typically fill up his water bowl in the morning. By the time I get back home from work, he's drank it all, and he tries to drink out of the Trump waters. So Kai is on the Trump train, it seems. There we go. Got that caffeine going. Okay, South Carolina ain't done jack. Whoa, okay. Georgia, lots of votes. And part of that's Cobb County, which is just north of Atlanta. I actually reasonably know Cobb County. 160 to 152. We're at 73 to 40, so still not a ton of the vote in. Ben Hill County. Can we call it Benny Hill County and play the Benny Hill theme for that? Because it's copyrighted, can't actually play the Benny Hill theme, but since everybody knows the Benny Hill theme, just look it up on YouTube and quickly play the Benny Hill theme whenever we flip over this county. Burke County. I actually lived in Bullock County for a little bit. It's all showing 0% reporting. That's probably because they're derpy. Alright, Florida. Whoa, okay. Florida just had a massive dump of votes, clearly. And okay, so we don't actually know what it... Whoa, 52 to 45 in Miami-Dade. I think that's extremely good for... Yeah, that's extremely good for Trump. Oh my God. That is extremely good for Trump. Okay, so they're not showing anything. Broward, I don't think anybody expected Donald Trump to be competitive in Broward. 66 to 31. Whew. Okay, actually had a lot of votes come in. Palm Beach. Well, now there's no votes there. Okay. Pinellas County will tell us if Donald Trump is doing well, because he actually won Pinellas County in 2016 narrowly, 239-233. What are we seeing in Pinellas? 245 to 210. Again, Biden improves. 2%, or 76% in Pinellas, 82% in Hillsborough, which I don't think anybody expected Trump to win. 16%, less than 1%. Trump is up in Monroe County, which he narrowly won, I think. Yeah, he narrowly won Monroe County. Okay, let's see what Monroe County is saying. 18 to 18. So, yeah, in the very narrow range. Let's see what Fox is saying with regards to what they've got from Miami-Dade. 548 to 457. If you look there. Wow, Trump has massively improved in Miami-Dade. Holy shit. Not only is Trump above his 2016 numbers, Biden hasn't reached Clinton's 2016 numbers. That's actually extremely important. That is actually big news. Because Miami-Dade, let's just say that is the home of the Cuban voter. And Cubanos have not liked Democrats historically, but there were reports that they had been trending towards the Democrats. Let's zoom back out here. Yeah. We go here. Oh, Wythe County. Let's check out Wythe County. Or Wythe County. 10 to 2. Showing here. Yeah, that was to be expected. Buchanan County. Holy crap. Screen cap that result. Oh. Whew. Okay, there's Tazewell. Bland County. Louisa County. The county that I really want to see come in is Goochland County, but that's maybe because I have a terrible sense of humor. And, yeah, can we get a like for Goochland County? Okay, yeah, get a screenshot of that, too. Surrey County, okay. I think that the Miami-Dade numbers are absolutely a very good sign for Donald Trump. But there's a lot of places where the numbers are extremely good for Joe Biden. Okay, that can be basically ignored. 54, 45. Let's just quickly review what Miami-Dade was. 63 to 34. If Trump really, by the way, that's 84% of estimated votes reported. If Trump is really doing that well in Miami-Dade, the only thing that can symbolize is that he really is improving that much among Hispanics. And if he really has improved that much with Hispanics, yes, Cubans are a slightly different type of Hispanic voter than, say, Mexicans or others. All of a sudden, that puts, I would say, don't even talk about Arizona. That puts Nevada in play. I would say that puts Colorado in play. New Mexico, I would argue that would all of a sudden become competitive. Trump really has improved among Hispanic voters by that much. And yeah, that's not going to get filled in. Right. So Florida's already had 4 million votes reported, and Trump is only narrowly behind. And there's an estimate that there's 36%. Duval County, okay, I may open Twitter on my phone. Broward County again, I expected. Monroe County, 18-18. Donald Trump slightly ahead. And that is the current totals. What was it in? 21-18, sorry. So Trump has kind of weakened in Monroe County a little bit, but there's also room for improvement because this is mostly early vote that's being reported. But yeah, Florida is definitely... Oh, Pennsylvania has had some closed. Cool. But it's literally a tiny part of Dauphin County, or Dauphin County if we're speaking French, but Dauphin or Dauphin. I'm surprised that no one has called Indiana yet, but maybe I shouldn't be shocked. They're being a little cautious with vaguely competitive states this year. So, that I've called it is kind of not really... I mean, maybe it's a bit optimistic. Grayson County, okay. Wythe County, okay, that's not different. Appomattox, by the way, this is where, if I remember correctly, Appomattox Courthouse is. For those of you who don't know your history, Appomattox Courthouse is where the American Civil War, I'm not going to say officially ended, but the bulk of the fighting ended after Appomattox. Rockingham County, okay, or Rockingham, Buchanan County, yeah, okay. Scott County, tiny-ass county. Okay, Trump is winning in Kentucky for sure. Now, Trump being up in Virginia shouldn't really shock anyone, but I'm very glad that the New York Times has taken its time with reporting and not calling this race. Sometimes I do think the Fox News decision desk does... Yes, happy election day, Gorman Hexted. I do think that the Fox News decision desk sometimes calls states a little too soon. In Sumter County, okay. But that is potential. In the Senate race, well, let's go ahead and just quickly... Should probably do that and look at the House and see what the Senate map looks like. Yeah, I figured Daniel Gate would be projected to win, especially considering I think he's... or not Daniel Gate, sorry. Mark Warner is projected to win. I actually think that Mark Warner is running slightly ahead of Joe Biden. That 16-8, or sorry, 10-4 to... No! Mark Warner's running behind Joe Biden, but Daniel Gate is running significantly behind Donald Trump. So, yeah, I think it is absolutely fair to call Virginia Mark Warner. Of course, that doesn't really surprise me. I'm actually shocked that Kentucky has not been called for Mitch McConnell by the New York Times. And if we look at the House results, yeah, Morgan Griffith. I probably should have called that one at close, because, yeah. And these seats, I think everybody expected those to be called immediately. If we go back to the House seats, I'm actually shocked they haven't called any of the Indiana seats. I don't know why they made that decision. I'm shocked that Florida 8 and Florida 29 has been called. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother with the House just because there's too many of them. I was tempted to, but just not worth it. I'll just look at this. Okay. That was a little bit of a shock. Neither New Hampshire. Okay. Back here. I didn't bother checking the governors. House and... Wow, shocking. No one has governor races. By the way, I do think actually Phil Scott has been called, and I would expect in Indiana the incumbent Republican, I forget his name, has been called. I'm still going to wait for Virginia because I don't think it's entirely reasonable to call that. Whoa, okay. Florida has well over 5 million votes cast, and Donald Trump is actually up significantly. Well, when I say significantly, that's 35,000 votes. Part of that is the strength he has in freaking Miami-Dade, of all places. Okay, yeah. Indian River, okay, 83, 75, okay, 75, 89, St. John's. Where is Sumter? Is it here? I'm trying to remember where Sumter County is. Collier, sorry. Martin County. Sarasota, there's Hillsborough, Pinellas, Citrus, Sumter. Trump is up there 30K. If we go back to the 2016 results and look at Sumter County, about 30,000, 52 to 22. And if we go back to the president, 828. So this is basically just 12,000 votes higher turnout. Trump is doing well there. I think that's entirely fair to say. That said, talk about an extremely tight race where I don't want to say this, but there is entirely potential that this turns into 2000, the election of 2000, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Actually, I'm not even going to bother with the governors. I think those are mostly not a foregone conclusion, certainly a given one. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Senate elections, if we look there, Lindsey Graham is up. If we look in Georgia, yeah, so yeah, that it's not too much of a shock. Maybe not shocking there. Shaheen is up in New Hampshire. That's not too much of a shock to me. If we go back and close out this, look in New Hampshire, Biden, of course, leads. I think that's mostly, if we come back over to here, yeah, that's from Stratford County. So we'll see the rest. We'll see what happens over the course of the evening, of course, because there's still a lot of votes out. Go to South Carolina, yeah, not a lot of votes counted. That is what I expected. Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of votes counted. Okay, looking at Virginia 2. Okay, let's zoom out. This is just my reference point, and if we go over here, very narrow, and we'll see what happens over the course of the evening, because I think that's the right thing to do. Florida is, of course, being extremely competitive, which I kind of expected. Like I said, we'll have a very good idea based off of Florida. And it's actually 7:30. We have, whoa! Trump opens as a clear, this is from Nate Cohn, who also works for 538, or is at least a guest contributor. Trump opens as a clear favorite in Florida, especially after the Miami-Dade early vote. And I almost want to say, when it says clear favorite because of that, I almost want to call Florida straight up for Trump right now. These are actual numbers. West Virginia was called. By the way, North Carolina and Ohio and West Virginia just closed. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And when I say closed, I mean closed in full. I forgot. No, New Hampshire still hasn't closed. By the way, I do agree calling West Virginia right now is the correct thing to do, considering that West Virginia is not really a state that has historically been competitive, at least in the recent era. The last time it was truly competitive, I think, was actually 2000, when George W. Bush managed to flip what at one point was considered a long-time Democratic stronghold. As well, by the way, and in the Senate, we can actually just straight flip West Virginia to Shelley Moore Capito, who is the winner. And I do agree with those decisions. Yeah. Even though no votes have been returned, again, it wasn't expected to be a competitive race. So we go there, and let's just check. In West Virginia, I actually would honestly say all three of these seats should be called. Yeah, that's fine. And yep, you having fun over there? Meow. All right, so let's go back to the presidential election, which is the big one. A handful of precincts will be open longer because of delays. Of course they will. If there's any consolation for Democrats in Miami-Dade result, they don't expect Miami-Dade to be replicated in the rest of the country. Yeah, I was watching all the early vote totals, and yeah, the Miami-Dade was actually... I don't want to say I expected Miami-Dade to be competitive based off of the early results, but I was certainly surprised that Trump was doing as well as he was in Miami-Dade. Oh, how did you fit in there? Oh, that was funny. Yes, maybe... I'm an idiot. Let me quickly change this. Alrighty, there we go. And I'm actually going to make sure I get that correct and save. I kind of just derped on the title without actually knowing I derped on the title. 65% of votes estimated returned. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. That is really bad for Biden. Oh my God. I would say, again, that's kind of a subjective thing to say with regards to the Miami. I almost want to call Florida just because of how bad Miami-Dade was for Biden when I saw that. What are you doing under there? Are you just being a dork? Are you being a derp? Yep, Ohio just closed, and okay, Georgia special. By the way, this is a jungle primary, effectively. The only way a candidate does not have to have a runoff is because it is if one of them reaches 50%. And the same actually goes for the regular election. There would be a runoff if neither candidate reached 50%. There you go. Good boy. And let's take a look there. Okay, Biden is running ahead of Ossoff in Georgia, but again, there's not a lot of votes counted, and I suspect a lot of that is actually Cobb County. Okay, yeah, most of it is Cobb County, DeKalb County, and which that's an expected result. Rockdale, yeah, that's an Rockdale should be more competitive, but whatever. Henry County. Yeah, that's not normal. I'm trying to remember where Spalding County is. Coweta, Clayton, Spalding, right there. Right. Texas, apparently, this is some, by the way, some, oh, wow, really? Some precincts in Tarrant County. Jeez. Okay. And that is actually Cowtown. Almost at 8 million votes counted. I think what was the total counted in Florida? 9 million, probably close to 10. 9.5 million. If we go to my map, obviously I'm just going off of states that are cold. Let's see. Has Ohio had anything reported? No. Even though polls have closed, North Carolina has nothing reported. Polls have closed there, except for a few precincts which have had some issues. Whoa, hey buddy, don't fall off. But, by the way, if Kai does start jumping around a little too much in front of the computer, I will unfortunately have to kick him out permanently. I don't want to have to do that. Yeah, I can quickly send the link. Control C. Oh, hi. Yeah, hi. I need that area of the desk open. Okay, there you go. There's a link for a chat. Have fun with that one. Okay, you can do that. Okay. Okay, Georgia. Okay. Still nowhere near all of the vote that's expected to be reported. Oh, hey, no. You're not allowed to play with this stuff. Didn't realize that was what you were doing. Sorry about that. It's because in Virginia, okay, the New York Times is called Virginia. I think it's fair to say that we can call Virginia too. The reason why is because rural precincts in Georgia tend to, rural precincts in Virginia tend to report first, and Nova doesn't tend to report until late. Fairfax County, see what I mean? We've got basically most of the votes expected in a lot of these rural counties, but except for Pulaski, Montgomery, I'm actually a little bit shocked about City of Radford there not having theirs already in. But yeah, most of these rural counties, if you can see, have more of their vote in than more of their expected vote in than a lot of. This is kind of a little bit of a shock. Madison County is normally deep red. Then say Fairfax County, Alexandria, Arlington County. That's a shock. 8713. What was in 2000? We go to Arlington. Oops. 92-20. And oopsies. Yeah. Arlington might have a very similar result. We're going to see what happens here. Okay, Roanoke is starting to come in. Not worth it to look at. Pulaski and Montgomery counties. Okay. Oh, Henrico started to come in, but only 15%. Richmond started to come in, only 1%. Okay, Virginia Beach, 4%. Not worth looking at yet. But yeah, looking at this, I haven't seen anything that would contradict Loudon. Yeah, no. Prince William, no, not yet. What is that? Yeah, I haven't seen anything quite yet to say that Virginia is going to go differently than both networks say. So I'm not going to disagree with them just yet. And I kind of agree. Oh, good. Ohio's starting to get results coming in. And I bet this is mostly Cleveland. Yep, I called it. It was Cuyahoga County. Okay. And it's literally 32 votes. Made a big deal out of it. Except here, they're not even reporting Cuyahoga. It's Lorain County, which, if I remember correctly, actually did go blue. Did Lorain go blue? Yeah. There you go. And the other one, I'm guessing Franklin. Let's check Franklin. Yep. And then Hamilton County, it's nothing. Okay. Franklin County, that's a lot of votes. Holy shit. 351 to 199. Okay, let's see what Trump is doing there with the results. Okay, Trump is actually pretty damn close to where he was in 2016 there. If we look at that, what was it? 351? Biden ain't close in Franklin County with what Fox News is reporting. So that's important. And that is certainly something to look at going forward. If we go here. Okay, still nothing has changed. Okay, Purdue is now ahead in Georgia's regularly scheduled Senate election. And in Georgia's special election, yeah, Warnock is running a surprisingly strong campaign there. So, is this Lieberman? No. Collins versus, is there a county? Okay, Laufer. Is there a county that Lieberman is running strong in? No. Which I think was to be expected. Okay, Charlotte's district. Okay, look at the House race. Indiana 3. Okay. Virginia 9 is still the only one to... Let's look at 7. Okay, Freitas is up. That's kind of to be expected. I would say Bob Good is up. Ben Klein is up. Florida 4 has been called. Okay. Florida 8 has been called. Florida 19 called. Florida 5 called. And a bunch of House races there. Republicans currently hold the lead, but we'll see how that goes throughout the evening. It's kind of how that works. Oh, they finally called Mitch McConnell. Okay, okay, that's fair. Milwaukee is looking like it's improved from 2016, but not up to the expectations of Democrats in Milwaukee. That could be very interesting. I think there were people who were saying that Wisconsin wasn't going to be competitive. I personally disagreed and said that I wasn't seeing, whoopsies, what I expected. Okay, Trump is back up in Georgia. South Carolina is actually running surprisingly tight. What was South Carolina's margin? Somewhat tight. 1.1 million to, okay, so about a 300,000 vote gap. If we go to, they're running neck and neck. Okay, Fox News is showing a lot more results. I'm actually surprised. Okay, Vermont finally has some results being called. Essex County was the lone county in Vermont that Trump won. Trump is up in Franklin. Okay. There's a lot of counties called Franklin. Good Lord. And Trump's still up in Indiana fairly heavily. Kentucky. Okay. Yeah. Trump is coming very close to matching what he was expected. Wow. Well, okay, that's because it's Columbus, which Trump is, what was 2016 in Columbus? 351 to 199. What is Fox saying at the present? 259.77. Okay. Cuyahoga. Let's take a look at what it was. 398 to 184. If we look at, oopsies, they're saying 299.74. What was Trump's in Cuyahoga? 184. Okay, so both candidates are a little bit behind where I think they expected to be right now in Ohio. Ohio's actually counting fairly quickly. We'll see how that goes as the night goes on. Yeah, Florida is over a point Biden leading. We've already had well over 9 million votes counted. Trump is also doing better in heavily African American areas, which is actually interesting. And of course, he's also doing better in Hispanic areas. Okay. Look back here. Trump is still, good Lord, that's pretty surprising. Okay, yeah, Orlando finally got their vote in. 383 to 235. What was it in 2016 in the Orlando area, Orange County? 329 to 195. And Trump is, both candidates are ahead of that. 383, 235 to, what was it? Trump is running a little bit better than Biden was. 60 to 35. What was the margin reported there? 61-37. Trump improved a little bit more there. It's interesting to look at. I do like this showing who's leading, because it's a little bit more clear. Yeah, this is very interesting to see, because there could be this is going to be a relatively interesting race, I would say. More interesting than I think people expected it to be, for sure. Okay. It's interesting. Which one was that? Wow, they've already called District 13 for Denver. Okay. Debbie Wasserman Schultz won her race. Oh boy. Florida 19 went to the Republican, it seems. Okay, so 15. Alrighty. For my own personal map, this is just YapMS. I'll put a link to it in the description. Oh, no. I specifically blacked out all of the states that don't have their polls closed. We're actually closing up on a very large amount of poll closings. So I'm actually going to clear those up right now. Not Arkansas, sorry. Oopsies. There you go. It's Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois. And I think that's it, because New York waits a little bit. No, Rhode Island. I forgot about Rhode Island. Yep, there we go. And I can't remember. I think it's Maine as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As well as clear that. There. Oh, I forgot North Carolina, which is a competitive race. And there we go. So those are the Senate elections. And I'm actually going to take a very short break real quick because caffeine goes straight through me. All right, I'm back, and let's go ahead and take a quick peek, see if anything has indeed changed. Okay, still early. This is all pretty much early vote. Not a lot of this is in person. Pennsylvania. Okay, yeah, that's... Indiana counting a little bit slower than expected, in my opinion, but, you know. Trump is up 66 to 31. Indiana is also going to be a very important state to look at because if Trump is running well in Indiana, above his 2016 margins in terms of the percentage, it certainly portends well to the rest of the industrial Midwest because Indiana is similar to Ohio. It's also similar to Michigan. Wisconsin and Michigan is, of course, similar to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is similar to Minnesota. It's also similar to Iowa. You know, these three states are relatively similar. These three states are similar. These states are similar. And, you know, it's hilarious, but while all of these states are somewhat similar to each other, it's basically one of those weird continuums. By the time you, say, start in Philadelphia and, say, go up to the Northwest Angle or Fargo, for example, Yeah, there you could find some similarities, but it's kind of one of those weird continuums where you start in Philly, you go across, and you're like, okay, this is somewhat similar. Say stop off in Pittsburgh or Erie and say, okay, I get it. And then you go to Cleveland, and you're like, okay. And it'd be almost like that thought experiment where you put a frog in a pot of water and just slowly turn up the temperature over time. And what you wind up getting is a situation where the frog doesn't know it's too late, or things have changed until it's too late. And that'd basically be the way the Rust Belt kind of works. Is it's You could say they're all similar, but if you started in one end and change here, you wouldn't realize it had changed until you were almost through Pennsylvania and say, wait a second, this isn't quite Minnesota. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto, basically. Yeah, nothing's changed there. North Carolina, there's no reports, precincts. Okay, Trump is up fairly healthy there. Georgia, Trump's up fairly healthily there. We'll flip back to New York. Yeah, Trump is, yeah, they declared Trump the winner in South Carolina, and I'm actually willing to say the same thing. Um, South Carolina, like a lot of the South, can sometimes take its time to bring to sometimes to count its votes. Sometimes it happens. Things move slower in the South. That's fairly normal. What was 2016's Georgia vote total? Okay, that was about 2 million votes cast in South Carolina. Lindsey Graham hasn't been counted just quite yet. Yeah. House races. Quite a few House races have been called. Tim Ryan actually was, I would say, expected to win his race, even though it's in Trump country. A lot of crossover there. Okay. Yeah, VA4, I believe, was a... Okay. Okay, Virginia's actually starting to count its votes reasonably quick. Donald Trump is actually still up fairly significantly. Oh, okay. Montgomery County has actually somewhat... Okay, that is... I would say that's kind of what I expected from City of Radford. In Pulaski County, yeah, I expected that to be reasonable. Prince William, okay, not really a lot. 9% estimated. Northampton, okay. Posaquan County, not a lot counted. York County, not a lot counted. Accomack, not a lot counted. Richmond County, 25 to 15. What was it in 2016? Go to Richmond County, 22 to 13. And if we go back to Richmond, both candidates have improved by about 300 votes. So it really hasn't changed much. Bristol has done that. Washington, okay. Smythe or Smith, it's Smythe. And Wythe or With, or however you want to say it. Okay. I wish I could zoom in on the precincts, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, Charlottesville, there's Albemarle. Nope. Goochland has actually started putting tallies out. Okay. Nope. And we actually got... We've got some calls to make. Okay. So, I mean, let's see. Massachusetts, I agree. Connecticut, that's a little bit of a shock, but it's supposed to be a safe blue state. New Jersey, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, Delaware, I definitely agree. Maryland, the district. Oh, yeah, no, I would call the district. Illinois, I agree. Call it. Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. Yeah, I would call those as well. Georgia's doing Georgia things. Shocked they called Rhode Island already. Oh no, oh really? Rhode Island changed when they did their poll closings. Well, okay, I'm gonna start calling. And I do agree with all of these so far. And Missouri, I'm actually shocked that 8 p.m. Nope. Okay. Poll closing call in Missouri. I kind of agree with that. I didn't really think it was actually that competitive of a race. Texas. Wow, 16% reporting already. Good gravy. But, really? Okay. Oh, Dallas. Okay, well, we can look at Dallas County in Texas, see what happened there in 2016. 461 to 262. Let's take a peek at what's going on there. 526 to 261. And what was it there? Trump is significantly improved in Dallas. Oh, what? Am I going crazy? Sorry. Biden is significantly improved in Dallas County. My apologies. Yeah. Trump has not. But this is, I think, mostly early vote. In Denton County, 202 to 174 for Trump, if we look at Denton County there. 170 to 110 was what it was in 2016. If we go back and look at Denton County now, it is a much closer race for sure. That is Dallas Fort Worth suburbs, so that is very important to look at. Tarrant County, Fort Worth is going to be very important to look at. Of course, Fox is showing something different. Trump up in Tarrant County narrowly. Biden leading in Harris County, which is Houston, somewhat significantly. Hey, Spacehead. How's it going? Zoom back out. Trump is up in Florida. Let's exit out. And let us exit out. There we go. And a bunch of House races that have been called that seem to have been basically uncontested candidacies. Oh, they called Virginia 1 for Rob Whitman. Mitch McConnell won in Delaware. John Carney. I wonder, is that the same John Carney? Okay. No, it's not the same John Carney that I'm thinking of, who was a kicker in the NFL. I was very wrong about that. It's just Similar name, so I figure, yeah. Let's look at the Senate. Okay, Tennessee. I agree with that. Yeah, Oklahoma. Kind of agree. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Mitch McConnell. Wow, Shaheen got called fairly quick. Massachusetts. Ed Markey. Yeah, Rhode Island. Jack Reed. I kind of expect that. Surprised a little bit about Chris Coons being called so quickly. Cory Booker, yeah, I didn't think that was. Dick Durbin, not really shocked at that one. Mitch McConnell won that one. I'm kind of surprised with how much. Let's go back to that. Yeah. Okay, 37% of, yeah. And McConnell's only running slightly behind Trump. God, Ohio's been counting quick, but Trump has been massively catching up in Ohio returns, it looks. Going back down to Georgia, Biden's only slightly ahead, but there's a lot of vote to be counted left. Trump is up in Florida. And we're about to hit, I would say we're going to hit 10 million votes counted fairly quickly. Palm Beach County, and Trump is running fairly strong. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still shocked that Trump is running so well in Miami-Dade. We finally got Panhandle counties coming in. There's a few left to be counted, but yeah. By the way, this is the I-4 corridor. Here's Sumter. Trump's doing well in Sumter, it seems, with 98% of estimated votes reported. Let's go ahead and check how they're doing. Trump was up 68 to 29 in 2016, 52 to 22. Let's take a peek at what he's doing here. 68 to 31, so vaguely similar in Sumter County. And 62 to 29, so yeah. Yeah. And Georgia right now, they're expecting Trump to win, as well as in Florida, they're almost at 95%. Yeah, I'm almost ready to call Florida personally. That is, I don't want to call it, but 86% reported, and Trump's got very good numbers there. I'm going to straight up say it. Trump has very good numbers there. North Carolina, nothing reported. Trump is up in Georgia narrowly, but there's not a ton of votes counted. Indiana, okay, that's... How many votes were cast in Indiana in 2016? We're going to be looking at about 2.5 million. We're still a long ways off. Kansas has a few precincts reported. Texas, 10% counted mostly. Pennsylvania and Michigan have some votes counted, but not a ton. Oakland County, okay. And in Pennsylvania, really, Allegheny County dumped their votes early. It's actually very nice. Okay, Connecticut has some votes counted from New Haven, which is, yeah, New Haven. Okay, that's reasonable. Rhode Island has no votes reported. Cool. New Hampshire is fairly close, it looks like. Well, let me put it this way. Most of this is early vote, which was expected to be heavily Democratic leaning. In addition, on election day vote, which is a vote that has mostly still not been counted yet. Therefore, since it is expected to be extremely heavily Republican election day voting, it isn't unfathomable to say that Donald Trump could easily carry this state. I mean, he's winning it with most of the vote being early vote. And if the early vote was supposed to favor Democrats, and the election day vote is supposed to be extremely favorable to the Republicans by almost similar margins that the early vote was supposed to be Democratic, and with almost 90% of the votes reported, it isn't unfathomable to say that Donald Trump could actually build on that margin. So that's why I'm saying I'm tempted to call Florida. I won't do it just yet. I want something other than my own intuition to say that. I'm actually surprised Missouri isn't. Okay, Kansas. Wow, 20% of Kansas is in. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. By the way, there's only 3 states with a needle for the New York Times because reasons. A bunch of Senate seats have been called. Did I actually fill in the Senate seats? Oh, no, I did not. Illinois, yeah, those. Let's look at the Senate race. Maine. Okay, though none of those have been called. Okay. But if we look at the Senate seats, I'm actually shocked that those haven't been called, but okay. 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 Okay, so we're starting to get, like I said, we are starting to get some returns in. South Carolina is a long ways off. Yeah, Trump is actually opening up a significant lead in Florida now. So, oh, I forgot Tennessee, and I'm actually going to, yeah, Oklahoma. I'm actually calling Alabama. I want to see a little bit of results because there were vague rumors that Mississippi was going to go to Mike Espy, but I kind of doubted it. Mississippi did close. I'm actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna not call it. Pretty soon we're gonna get Arkansas poll close, and if we look at the House, okay, that was expected. So far, nothing unexpected has happened. Okay. Texas is kind of changing, but okay. This is a presidential race. They've already called the VA. It's hilarious. Okay. Oh, did I call DC? Yeah, I called DC because of course I did. New Hampshire hasn't been called yet. Fox has actually called, well, 3 of Maine's 4 votes. Yeah, I don't think that's an unfair assessment. There's still questions about the 2nd congressional district. Michigan, fairly close. Pennsylvania, I'm suspecting that is mostly Philadelphia precincts. Yep, mostly Philly, and that was to be expected. Luzerne County, okay, Northampton near Allentown, Susquehanna. Let's look at Virginia, where Trump is still up. Okay, I'm not completely surprised by that. Bristol, that's similar to 2016. Pulaski County, that's somewhat interesting. No Democrat has won Delaware County since 1916. That's in Ohio, by the way. That one, Nelson County. Okay. Virginia Beach. Okay, that's not a lot. Okay. I'm just looking at that. Sorry, Manassas. Trump holds very narrow lead. Not a lot of vote counted. Essex County. Okay. Henrico. Okay. Goochland. Like that. Only 10%. That's a good joke. Roanoke going for Donald Trump. That's a very good joke. Lynchburg. Yeah, okay. We'll look at 3,000 to 2,500. What was Radford in 2016? 29 to 26. Okay, so both candidates are performing similarly in terms of percentage. 2019 in Montgomery County. So let's go ahead and check out Montgomery. 10 to... Whew. Okay, I got confused there. Yeah, also the Miami-Dade numbers are really what's calling it. And Trump is almost up 200,000 in Florida. That's how good his lead in Florida is. Yeah, a lot of Florida's coming in. And go back out to the presidential election. Okay, Trump is catching up in terms of the vote in. Okay. Shane. Yeah, okay. Presidential race. That's hilarious. Trump is running far ahead of New Hampshire's Senate candidate, Corky Messner. That may be the best name of the election, honestly. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I'm just checking some stuff out. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. I'll just quickly pop that back because I meant to answer it. Alrighty. Sorry about that. And looking at this, okay, nothing out of Maine yet. Georgia's special. Well, I mean, that was somewhat to be expected. Laufer's actually outperforming what I thought she would. David Perdue is far outperforming John Ossoff. North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina, they're revising towards Trump. Because if we remember, if we looked at the needle, they thought it was much better for Biden. Florida and Georgia are moving very quickly towards the Donald. North Carolina. Okay. Anyway. So far, I think Missouri doesn't have a Senate race just quite yet. And we're approaching 8:30 when Arkansas will actually have its polls officially close. Kansas doesn't officially close until, what was it, 9 o'clock here on the East Coast? Ooh, Trump up in Michigan. Interesting. Now, this is not a race I think most people expected Trump to win. I think polls definitely indicated Biden was up here. I might actually pull up my model, kind of highlight that. Trump is up in the 2nd Congressional District, but that's partially because, well, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I'll laugh about certain results that have been coming out. South Carolina. Okay, Trump up heavily in Georgia. Let's take a look at what they're seeing. Whoa, North Carolina had a massive dump of votes just then. Holy moly. And Biden's up a healthy amount. North Carolina, okay, moved slightly back towards Biden. Okay. Dang. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see where... okay, that explains. A lot of red. North Carolina hasn't actually had their votes come in yet. Mecklenburg County, that's Charlotte. You go to Raleigh, that's most of it. That's a lot of it. Orange County, Durham as well. Guilford County, it's Greensboro. Forsyth, I believe that's Winston-Salem. Yeah, that's Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and yeah. So I honestly, most of the vote coming in, it seems, is from very red parts of North Carolina. So I am a little, 60%, and Trump is massively coming back in North Carolina. That said, they've revised their needle, saying that Biden's a little bit favored, but it's gonna be. It will be interesting if Florida votes for Trump and North Carolina doesn't. Yeah, I mean, the Trump campaign is significantly overperforming with Hispanic voters, I would say, especially in Florida. Okay, let's look at North Carolina's Senate race. Whoa. Yeah, see, it's catching up because I haven't refreshed this page in a healthy amount of time. Cunningham is ahead of Tillis. Of course, that looks like those may have been a while ago. Yeah, exactly. That was a while ago. It's still 9, a little bit. Yeah, about 9 points. Okay. Let's see what happens. Surprised they haven't called Indiana. Okay, Fox called Indiana. Let's see. Yeah, they haven't gotten the new dump of polls. %, in. Yeah, Georgia is just taking its time, like always. And South Carolina is taking its time even more, it seems. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. And still still a little bit of time away from 8:30. I'm thinking about this. I'm not sure how long I will stream, of course, tonight. We'll see how I feel about 9 o'clock, honestly. Especially considering I do still have to go to work in the morning. Now this is where kind of the waiting game kind of begins. Yeah, Trump is catching up in Texas though with each vote dump. Similar with Ohio, Georgia. Actually, let's check that. North Carolina. Holy moly! They just put it at 56%. That swung towards Trump quickly. A lot quicker than I expected. Let's go ahead and check why. I'm a big proponent, and I have always been a massive proponent of understanding the why. Why is something going a certain way? And if we look at this, okay, actually, look over here. These Republican counties certainly are coming in, but not nearly as much as a lot of the heavy Democratic counties, which are in the high 70s. Most of these red counties, which typically are very red, are only at 70, 60, They're nowhere near as highly counted as a lot of the blue counties that have come in so far, such as Mecklenburg County, Charlotte. So that's definitely an interesting one. And if we look in Virginia, let's go ahead and see if that has changed. Were because I am living in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We'll look at Winchester. Okay, that's not a lot. 31%. Yeah, Virginia also sometimes counts its votes slowly to an extent. Wythe County or Wythe County, 95%, 11-3. What was it in 2016? Just for example, go to Wythe County or Wythe, 10-2. So both improved marginally. 75-20. If we look currently, it is 78-20 compared to, again, 75-20. So that is an improvement for Donald Trump in rural Virginia. Pulaski County, 10-4 or 68-27. Let's see. Take a quick gander over in Pulaski. Not a lot of the vote is counted. We're at 6-1. And we were at 10-4. Right. If we go to City of Radford, it was 2,900 to 2,600. And if we pop on over and look at it currently, it's 3,000 to 2,500. So, with 80% in. Montgomery County, that hasn't changed at all. Again, kind of laugh at this one, but Roanoke, City of Roanoke. Now, I did have a friend, actually, who told me he wrote in Bernard Sanders, but... All right. Fox News called something, didn't it? It called Arkansas, which has just had its polls close, and yeah, I agree with that statement. Arkansas goes to the president, Donald John Trump. I'm not too shocked about that. And actually, I would call Tom Cotton in Arkansas as well. Because I don't think he was actually having a competitive race against Ricky Harrington. As much as I think it would be hilarious to see Ricky Harrington win, he won't. Yeah, Doug Jones, by the way, I'm calling this one for Tommy Tuberville already. For the sole reason that I joke about this, but you have a Democrat in Alabama who's running against a national championship winning football coach. That's yeah. That should tell you everything you need to know about that race. Good Lord, David Perdue is whooping Ossoff. Oh my word, that is crazy. And if we look at Georgia's special, wow, Laufer actually took the lead there. And Doug Collins is not running very far behind Warnock now in terms of raw vote. I'd laugh if this wound up being two Republicans against each other. I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty funny. If we look in Georgia, yeah, Cobb County, yeah. Joe Biden being where he is in Cobb County is a bit shocking considering how narrow it was in 2016. That said, that's only 31%. Let's take a look at the county named for the worst governor in Georgia's history, aka the governor who is responsible for the case of that challenged, I think it was the Indian Removal Act back in, I think it was, Worcester v. Georgia. He was the governor of Georgia at the time, and he's the one who kind of pushed that case to being a thing. And that was Governor Lumpkin. And, yeah. Hilariously, Lumpkin County has actually my personal favorite city in the world, Dahlonega. It's a very nice town. I highly recommend visiting there at some point. Let's go ahead and look at these places. Liberty County, narrowly back in Joe Biden. Well, I say narrowly. In terms of raw vote, it's competitive, but in terms of the percentages, yeah, no. And actually, with 59%, 60% report, yeah, I kind of agree. You can go to Chatham County, which is home to Savannah. Not a lot of the vote. Effingham. Fayette County still ain't done anything yet. We'll see. Athens, by the way, this is UGA, this is College Town, so expect that county to go to, Clark County to go to the Democrats. If I remember correctly, most of this is the Black Belt. I wonder why it's called that. Okay, let's look in North Carolina. Yeah. Worse. Yeah, Trump is catching up. Florida's over 90% called, and good Lord, Trump is over 200,000 vote lead. And most of that is thanks to Miami-Dade, where he is significantly overperforming. Oh my word, he is overperforming in Miami-Dade, but I would say he's overperforming in Monroe County. Where's Volusia? Volusia County. I think is that an overperformance? 152. Let's look at Volusia. 143, 109, or 5441. Let's take a peek. 152 to 121, 54, 43. Okay, Biden's overperforming there. I think what it is... Oh, Indiana's actually put a lot in. Yeah, I'm not seeing Trump losing Indiana. Okay, let's go to Ohio, which has been getting closer as votes come in. Surprised Hamilton County hasn't come in yet. Look at this. I believe Trumbull is where Youngstown is. Does Trump actually need to win Lake County? Let's go back out and take a look at Lake County. He won this 55-40 in 2016 with a margin of 64-46. What are we seeing out of Lake County currently? 42-39 for Joe Biden. Very narrow lead. Almost to 50% of the expected vote. Now, Ohio does have a lot of swing voters, so just be aware of that. Is there a place that has... Okay, Hamilton County, okay. Okay. Pennsylvania, I suspect it's mostly Philly. Okay. Okay, there's another one that's gonna be that would be hilarious if it happened. A red Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. That's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. Okay, Trump currently up in Michigan. Okay, Oakland, only a quarter of its vote has been counted. Macomb, that's nothing. Eaton County, Kalamazoo. Okay, again, not a lot of votes counted from either of these. A third of the vote in Eaton. 2% in Calcasa? I don't know how to say that one. Alcona, okay, a quarter of the vote. Kansas. This one's weird with a third of the vote. Biden's leading, but I suspect it's really Riley County. Trump won Riley. Narrowly, but he won it. How much did he win Kansas by in 16? 57-36. Yeah, exactly. That's actually a little bit of a shock, but this is Kansas City. And I don't think that's unsurprising, especially considering most of it, almost all of Kansas's vote that's in is Johnson County. Okay, Sedgwick County, most of it is in. Trump narrowly leads there. That's Wichita. Phil Scott wins re-election in Vermont. I'm not entirely shocked. Okay. Texas is Senate. Okay, that was to be expected if we go over here. Biden is still up in Texas. Where's Williamson? That's Hayes. Williamson, just north of Austin. And that is most of the vote in there. We're starting to get rural Texas in. Tarrant County, Trump... Oh my God, that's in the 700 vote range. Denton County, okay, yeah. Thank you, OBS, for reconnecting. There will be a certain point where I genuinely have to say I can't stream anymore with how ridiculous OBS is being with me. And I'll just be kind of leaving it at that point. For Harris County, what was it in 2016? I'll check. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's actually a very reasonable take. I'm going to make a bold call. I'm calling Florida for Trump. I'm just straight up calling Florida for Trump. Because let's back out to Florida, which has 91% reporting. Trump is up, closing in on 300,000 votes in Florida. And most of the vote coming in now is expected to be extremely favorable to him. regardless of where it is in the state. Actually, I think he's improved in Palm Beach, of all places. Those are the three big ones. 56.41 for Clinton 2016. Let's take a look at what this is now. 56.43 in Palm Beach. Miami-Dade. Let's just show you what Clinton was doing. 63.34. Here's Donald Trump in Miami-Dade. 54-45. This is... yeah, I'm not seeing a freaking red wave. Fuck. English. Do I speak it? No, clearly. Yeah, this is... I'm not seeing blue wave in Florida at the very least. Or could this just be a shift in the electorate, or is it more along the lines of... okay, Dan Crenshaw was called... yeah, anyway. Okay, Virginia 6, Ben Klein was declared the winner. Okay, that's VA 8, Donald Bayer over Jeff Jordan. Look at Virginia 2. Scott Taylor looks up, but there's only a quarter of the vote counted. With a little bit under half the vote counted, Bob Good looks very strong. And that, now, just as a healthy reminder, that includes Roanoke, as well as parts of Nova, which I think is a bit of a ridiculous way. Nick Freitas is up with 40% of the vote counted against Abigail Spanberger. Leon Benjamin over Donald is a bit shocking, but there's only a quarter of the vote counted in Virginia 4. I'm not expecting 4 or 5 to flip, but yeah, that's just what I'm looking at. So far, no other surprises that I can see. Yeah, there's none that are listed as a flip so far, so that should tell you everything I need to know. Looking back at the Senate, Purdue is running ahead of Donald Trump right now. Let's say ahead of their expectations in Georgia's special election. In North Carolina, it said there's only a quarter of the vote counted in Georgia. North Carolina, Tillis might lose. I think most of the vote is the same in North Carolina. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, Trump might actually... Hey, Lex Layton. Yeah, I see that. I'd say hold your horses, but I understand the reason for celebration. I called a major swing state for Donald Trump. Before any network actually did. Okay, Wayne County with 3% in. Yeah, Trump winning Wayne County. That's a hot take. He's not going to do that, by the way. Because Wayne County is Detroit. Any counties with a major amount counted 5%. No, not really. 10% in Pennsylvania, and it is getting much narrower. A little bit over a quarter of the vote in Allegheny is red. That's kind of surprising in my opinion. But then again, it may just be the suburbs of Pittsburgh that are voting red. The ones that's shocking is these counties in Dauphin County, or Dauphin, or Dauphin, however you want to say it. I think that was one of the few rural T or Pennsylvania counties that tends to vote more Democratic. Montgomery County doesn't shock me. I'm waiting for Bucks County. Delaware County doesn't really shock me at all. Philly hasn't moved in a while yet. looking at this, not a lot of counties have a lot. Yeah, Pennsylvania takes its time to get votes in. Indiana. Okay, Vigo County, still not... still not reporting. Let's go to Ohio, where Biden still maintains a lead, but I don't think we have had a dump in Ohio for a while now. So we'll pump the brakes there. Texas is counting very quickly, and we'll see what's going on there. Let's look at Bexar County. It's not pronounced Bexar County, it's Bexar. I'm not shocked by those margins, given that San Antonio is a very urban area. I'm not shocked by Travis County. Wow, we're already, I think, what was Texas? How many votes total? Texas was 8.4. We'll round up to 9 million votes in Texas, which is actually very similar to what Florida was. Sorry, that's 8. Sorry, Texas had fewer votes than Florida, and Texas is a larger state. We're about 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Okay, looking at Texas. North Dakota is actually releasing results already. Nice. That's good to know. Yeah. Let's look at Kansas. Yeah, that was to be expected. Kansas is actually starting to get most of its counties starting to come in now. Yeah, exactly. And Maryland, no votes counted. Oh, hey, would you look at that? Votes are actually getting counted in New Jersey. Good for you, New Jersey. Yeah, Joe Biden, I would expect Joe Biden to do well in Delaware simply because it's his home state. Trump actually leads in Rhode Island. That's not going to last. The only county, he actually won a county. I want to say it was it Kent? Yeah, he won Kent County in Rhode Island, which was a bit of a shock. And he was down 55-39. So let's actually check where he's at. I mean, obviously he's up there. Down in Connecticut, that's kind of what I expected. Massachusetts, I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of votes counted though. Vermont is actually counting fairly quickly. That's good. Trump is significantly narrowed in New Hampshire. Votes are actually coming in. Looking at this. See what happens. Maine, Trump is up. Trump's still up in Georgia, though. Oh, wow, we've actually got results from DeKalb, Fulton. Well, not a lot of results from DeKalb. Clayton County, Fayette County still ain't reported. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. North Carolina is counting very quickly, and that the way Biden's lead is fallen apart in North Carolina is not the way they want to see it going. Georgia, pretty good. Biden's lead in Pennsylvania has narrowed, but part of that's because we're starting to get the rural T coming in. This amuses me to no end. I'm not gonna lie. Can we get a like and a comment and a subscription for those of you who are maybe new to my channel for Red Allegheny County? Like I said, that amuses me to no end. Yeah, I kind of expected that to be the case. Bangor, Penobscot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, South Carolina's still taking its sweet time. Look in the Senate. Okay, that is fine. South Carolina, Lindsey Graham is starting to improve in margins. Tillis is behind. Tillis is running behind Trump. John James is actually running ahead of Gary Peters, but again, that's not a lot of the vote counted. 10% of estimated votes reported. Yeah, exactly. Cornyn is running ahead of Donald Trump by a fair margin in Texas. Okay, New York Times has finally called Indiana for Trump. That's actually a very good sign, though. Trump is not up as much as 57 to 37. What is this one? 59 to 38. Trump up 2 over 2016. Biden up only 1 over Clinton 2016 in terms of the percentages. That's actually reasonably good for Trump, especially vis-a-vis the rest of the Rust Belt. We'll see if that actually holds and look at Ohio, for example. Now we're closing up on some more poll closings, 5 minutes, and we get New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota, both Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas officially. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming. I think Michigan, though. Michigan started reporting, of course, and yeah. Yeah. God, the needle keeps moving in North Carolina towards the Donald. It's 5% lead, but again, Johnson County, Chatham County, a lot of these counties that are left to even have votes counted are Trump counties, and the more I look at it, yeah, I'm starting to agree. Trump is looking actually good to carry North Carolina. Oh my word. I was joking about Trump having a 300,000 vote lead in Florida, but that's actually going to happen. North Carolina might actually split its result, which I'd be a little bit surprised about, but, Oh, New Mexico started releasing results. Kansas is, again, most of it is blue counties that have reported and reported heavily. New Mexico should start reporting soon. And I'm going to go ahead and clear these up. Louisiana was the state that I forgot, actually. There we go. I'm going to clear those out, and Alrighty. So, ready for this? This is crazy. Fox News has Trump well over 5.5 million in almost at a 400,000 vote lead, which, considering how narrow Florida actually was, is a bit of a cold shower to Democrats. Looking at this, 57-40, 59 to 39. Yeah, I was saying John James was going to run ahead of Donald Trump. And yeah, he is by about a net of, let's go ahead and take a look at that. 57-40. So that's a net of 4% that John James is up. Michigan could split. That's not even sarcasm. That's not even sarcasm. Yeah, North Carolina Senate is looking pretty close. Purdue is running ahead of Trump. In the special election, both Republicans are doing well combined. I mean, that said, Trump is also running very well in Georgia. Better than he was in 2016. Texas could flip, but Biden isn't, in terms of percentages, performing to Beto O'Rourke levels. I think a lot of Republicans were very pleased that they were running as close as they were with the early vote. Yeah, a lot of red counties aren't reporting their full amounts quite yet. However, a lot of the more urban counties are closer to what they expected for their full turnout. So, yeah, I'm starting to think that Trump maybe is going to run slightly ahead of his average. Yeah. By the way, my model looks like it was wrong on Florida, but that's not for lack of design. I think it just wasn't prepared to handle the insanity that was this year. Trump is running so close in Miami-Dade. Who would have expected that? Let's take a look at Broward, which has 98% of its vote counted, supposedly. That's 595,000 to 314,000. Let's just take a quick look at Broward. Is Trump beating? Oh my God, Trump is beating his 2016 numbers in Broward, and Biden is only just beating Clinton's numbers. And Trump is stomping his numbers in Broward. 66-31. 65-34. Okay, let's close out. Now let's zoom out. Now let's just quickly see. Wyoming, the Dakotas. Wow, they called New Mexico already? Colorado's called it closed for Biden. That, I think, is a bit too much. I kind of disagree with that. Wow. New York Times called all 5? You got to be kidding me. I think what it is they called 3 or 4. Okay. Is New Mexico released any votes? No. I'm not calling New Mexico. Unless I'm dead certain. I'm also kind of agreeing that we shouldn't be calling here. I should also put these states. Louisiana just closed. Putting those there. Kansas, I just want to see what their vote total currently looks like, as well as where the outstanding vote is. Yeah, it's basically the rural part. I am just going to go ahead and just make it easy for myself and call Kansas. Let's take a peek at... Ooh, this is a hot one. Take a look at that. Trump campaign officials are keeping an eye on RNC data that suggests Biden might be underperforming in urban areas of Minnesota. Yeah, Trump is closing in on Biden in Ohio. Pennsylvania. This amuses me to no end. Okay. I mean, to be fair, that's what I expected out of Philly. A lot of these rural counties are starting to come in, but a lot of them also aren't. We'll see how Biden does in Pennsylvania as things move on. I was about to say, really? St. Louis City hasn't voted. Okay, St. Louis County, I think I expected that one. Kansas City, okay. Yeah, Illinois, I'm not entirely sure I'm surprised by. Okay, New York Times, like I said, I think they jumped the gun on New Mexico just at present, but whatever. Oh yeah, I should also check the Senate, where, yeah, I was not shocked by that. Round, Sass, and Wyoming, yeah, Cynthia Loomis. Oops, I forgot Wyoming. That's okay, so did everyone else. The rest of the Senate map, if we look at that, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona haven't been called at all. So, looking at that, Kansas also hasn't been called, though if I look at this, yeah, exactly, it's rural Kansas. I'm just going to call Kansas already, because I don't think there's a reason not to at present, and I forgot to, and I'm also calling Louisiana. The rest I am putting in the too close to call category for right now to make it easy, and also I forgot Rhode Island. See, I can forget things because I'm too busy looking at vote totals because I'm just one person. Yeah, I honestly expect Cory Gardner is going to lose. I don't think that should come as a shock to anyone, honestly. Shocked they haven't called South Dakota at large, but okay. Or any House race in Georgia, despite, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, still under half of all votes totaled. Bob Good is up. Nick Freitas is up with less than half. District 10, Andrews is up. Again, we're at a quarter of the vote there. That's 30%. Again, a third of the vote. Taylor up there. Benjamin up there with a quarter of the vote. Quarter of the vote. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Polls are closing there. We'll see what happens. Michigan, 16%. And John James is up 60 to 37. Good gravy. That said, it is only a sixth of the vote counted. But John James is running ahead of Donald Trump in Michigan. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. That's not going to happen. That's not going to stay. A lot of the vote is still out in Michigan. By the way, if Alger County in Michigan flips, that's going to be very interesting because that's Marquette, and Clinton actually won Alger County. So it'll be interesting to see if that is a thing that happens. I doubt it, but, we'll see. Yeah, we haven't checked in on North Carolina in a while, and Biden's kind of sweating there, I suspect. Yeah, exactly. North Carolina is becoming ever more certain. If we look in Florida, yeah, Trump is well over that 300,000 vote lead. What is Fox News saying? That Trump is closing in on that 400,000 vote lead. What are they saying in Texas? Where it is dead even, basically. Trump is very close to catching Biden. And look at all the red counties up here that haven't reported, even though this is a very unpopulated part of the state, the Panhandle. These are very red counties. These are very red and populated counties. These are red counties that are fairly populated. These are red counties that have people. These are red counties that have people. Yes, El Paso hasn't dumped its votes, but I'm seeing a lot more vote for Trump that's outstanding in Texas. New Mexico, no votes. Yeah, I'm not counting. I'm not calling it. All right, Colorado will be significant in Southwest. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and, see, that's what I expected, right? Trump is leading in Maine, but that's mostly because I think only the 2nd district has really had any votes count. Had some votes come in, but we'll move on to that. New York is a state that I am absolutely calling for Joe Biden because it's New York. Did anybody actually expect Trump to win? Staten Island, let's take a look. Half of the vote is in, and Trump is leading there fairly heavily. So that's vaguely intriguing. I will say that. Interesting. They haven't gotten anything out of Colorado yet. Even polls are closed. Trump is closing in Kansas. He's only about 22,000 behind there. Oh, Colorado just dumped. Denver put 70% of its results out. And we'll see about the rest of the state. Honestly, I think everybody expected Biden to do well in Denver. It's going to come down to looking at the margins in Adams and Arapahoe, as well as maybe one or two of these caller ones. Let's take a peek at Ohio, and Trump is closing in there. Let's look at the Senate. Okay, only in person. Okay. Yeah, Maine. Maine was what I thought it was going to be. Okay, looking at North Carolina. Tillis is catching up. Okay. South Carolina, Lindsey Graham is building a lead. We go to Georgia, where Perdue is, thumping Ossoff. And Collins is catching Warnock. I would laugh so hard if the special election wound up being 2 Republicans. Mississippi, yeah, that's what I expected. I did actually expect Doug Jones to do reasonably well, at least be somewhat competitive, make it look competitive at the very least. Louisiana, I called it personally, but I guess New York doesn't want to. Oh yeah, Louisiana does that whole jungle primary thing too. Texas, Cornyn is leading Hagar, and I think I'll call Texas Senate before Texas president. But I don't think it'll be that dramatic of a difference. Michigan, Trump is up 59-38. Let's look at the Senate. 60-37. So that's one. Yeah, John James is running significantly ahead of Trump. 572 with a similar, I think the same amount, very similar amount of votes reporting. 572, 353, 68, 360. Yeah, John James is running significantly ahead of in Michigan. Yeah. Ohio is starting to count its vote. Yeah, if you look at, this is actually surprising that Trump is actually doing as well as he is in a lot of these returns that are coming in so far. 13, 58, 34, 13. Collins is running ahead of Trump in Maine. She actually, if Maine is reasonably competitive, she might still hold on. She might still hold on. If we look in Virginia, Trump is still ahead. He's the first one to cross 1 million. Yeah, that's what I expected. Was Biden finally take the lead in Montgomery. But Trump ran very competitively in Montgomery, it seems. Okay, that hasn't changed in a while. Pulaski, 12-4. Okay, Trump has exceeded. Biden hasn't really improved in Pulaski. We go to with 11-3. I think that's vaguely similar to what Trump did against Clinton there. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Trump isn't really improving in his margins in the rural part of the state. Galax hasn't reported quite yet. Okay, let's take a look at the likes, comments, subscriptions county of Goochland County. 74. Okay. I just like. Okay, Virginia Beach, almost a third of the votes counted. Trump ahead significantly. A little bit under a third. Trump ahead in Loudoun. With a quarter of the vote, Trump is ahead in Prince William, which is a bit of a shock. With a third of the vote counted, Trump is still ahead in Roanoke, which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a shock. Trump being competitive in Hampton is, in my opinion, a surprise. I mean, 41-17. Let's take a peek at what it's looking like. Okay, I mean, it's still a quarter of the vote out, but Trump is far closer to his 2016 totals than Biden is to Clinton's 2016 totals in Hampton. Now, the reason why this is important is the primary demographic of Hampton Roads. If anybody wants to look it up and do their own research, they are more than free to. I'm not going to make the easy comments there. Trump ahead in Fairfax City. With 100%, okay, 7,300 to 3,700 in Fairfax City. $61.30. Okay. Let's zoom in on Fairfax City. It says 98%. Yeah, okay, that they're nowhere near the vote totals. 16 to 15. Yeah. That said, Trump is far closer to his vote totals from 2016 in Fairfax City than Joe Biden is to Clinton's totals. Roanoke City, 22,000 to 14,000. And it was 56.37. Let's take a look at Roanoke. 7,800 for Trump, which is far closer to 2016 totals than Joe Biden is to Clinton's 2016 totals. And Trump is leading, of course. This is actually, which is weird because in Montgomery County, both candidates exceeded their 2016 numbers. And Joe Biden won by more than Clinton did, narrowly in terms of the raw vote, but definitely in terms of the percentage of the vote. In City of Radford, basically the same thing is happening to Montgomery County. There's some interesting stuff going on if you actually dig into these numbers. Zoom out on both of these. Let's see, anywhere else have a massive dump? Trump is narrowing in. He's within 150,000 in North Carolina. And yeah, the Times Needle, which is it reports based off of basically where vote is left outstanding as well as the vote that has been returned. It basically says, yeah, Trump is almost certain to carry it. All right, so let's look at Florida. Trump is well over 300,000 up in Florida. And Trump is extremely competitive in Miami-Dade. Holy crap, that is far better than I think they expected. Trump is ahead of his 2016 margins in Broward. Okay. Then we go to Palm Beach County, where Trump is, again, ahead of his 2016 margins in that county. Pinellas, whoo, that is tight. Whoo, that is tight. Oh, what is that? 1,500 votes-ish. Trump is exceeding his margins in Monroe County. In Collier County, it looks like. Let's go to Georgia. Take a look at this one. Trump is still performing extremely well, albeit a lot of Atlanta has not come in yet, whereas a healthy amount of rural Georgia has started to come in, though there's a few places that haven't. Pulaski County, Dodge County. Well, Pulaski County has definitely come in for sure. Dodge County hasn't. There are quite a few of these. Bullock County, one of the rare counties with a college town that does not vote for Democrats. Savannah County, okay. But like I said, there's a lot of rural Georgia has basically turned in their votes, whereas a lot of Atlanta and Atlanta burbs have not turned in theirs. Lumpkin County still ain't turned in their votes. Fayette County, it looks like Donald Trump is probably going to carry Fayette. He's definitely going to carry Coweta. Good Lord. Wow, Trump is up in Bibb County, aka Macon. And if we look at Bibb County, Clinton had 36,000 votes to Trump's 24,000, winning it 59-36, right? Let's take a look at Bibb County. Trump is at 29,000 to Biden 17,000. Let's just kind of look at that. Oops, that's Crawford. Where's Bibb? There we go. Trump has already beaten his 2016 totals by 5,000 votes. Biden hasn't even come close to Clinton's. And that's with almost 60% of the vote coming in. Now, I'll give you a guess as to why this is shocking to me. And it basically comes down to demographic in Macon, Bibb County. And again, it's the same answer as the main demographic in Hampton Roads. I'm just going to quickly look at something real quick because I want to see if they've... Alrighty. Okay. Okay. By the way, for those wondering, I'm looking at the exit polls that they put out. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. Looking at this, this is weird. Huh. So, alright, so white voters voted 55-43 for Trump, whereas non-white voters, who make up 35% of the electorate this year, voted 25-73 for Biden. Okay. Yeah. Some of these numbers actually really aren't shocking to me at all. I genuinely am not shocked by a lot of this. That said, personally, exit polls aren't really a focus. They're interesting, but they're not the end all be all. Okay, Trump is damn near caught up in Ohio. He still leads fairly heavily in Michigan with almost a fifth of the vote in. Trump is somewhat catching Biden in Pennsylvania, but not really. Pittsburgh finally got some results in, and Biden took the lead. It was still amusing for how long Trump was leading there. Center County, yeah, that's by the way, that's Penn State. No, Pitt is in Pittsburgh. Penn State is in Center County. Erie County, extremely close, but only 4% in. That was to be expected. That's to be expected. I'm actually shocked that Philly hasn't had a massive vote dump. Really, it took them that long to declare a winner for D.C.? That's mildly amusing. That is mildly amusing, to put it lightly. Okay, North Carolina is inching closer and closer towards the Donald. All right. Finally got votes in from Colorado. I'm shocked the New York Times hasn't called Colorado yet. But yet they've called New Mexico. Whereas, okay. Oopsies. I'm kind of derping at this map. Don't right click, genius. Okay. So far, I'm not entirely shocked by a lot of this, but we'll see. Wisconsin, Donald Trump holds a relatively small lead. 15%, so about a fifth of the vote in. In Kenosha County, Trump leads there. But, again, that's only a fifth of the expected vote. In Chippewa County, 2%. Trump leads heavily there. Waukesha County, Trump does lead there. And that's almost a quarter of the vote in, and that's a heavy lead for Trump. In Winnebago or Oshkosh, Trump leads there with over half the vote in. Milwaukee County, 12%. Trump's doing somewhat well there, yeah. Right? And Kansas, Trump is well on his way to actually winning that state as more vote comes in. Texas, Trump is now taking the lead in Texas. It's a very narrow lead. There's still about a quarter of the vote left to count, but again, it's in actually somewhat populated red areas as well as the Texas Panhandle. There is not a ton of the vote left in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Travis County, or Austin. Basically nothing left in Hayes, nothing left in Williamson. And if Trump does well in, or better than he did in 16, at least in terms of margins in this area, the Rio Grande Valley, that, as well as maybe even El Paso, that actually is a very good sign for Trump going forward into Nevada, Arizona, even New Mexico. And that's important to follow. Trump's still up in Georgia. Biden's up in Missouri, but don't really see that changing. Yep. Florida, like I said, this is approaching a 400,000 vote lead for Trump in Florida. Woo. I mean, Biden does have strength in Pennsylvania. That's not shocking to me in the slightest. Purdue is still outperforming Trump in the raw vote. So look at North Carolina, where Tillis is catching up to Cunningham. And honestly, Tillis might actually win that. Which would be very good. Well, I say very good. It'd be very good for my ability to predict elections. Democrats did flip a seat. Interesting. In the House. So far, they haven't... the Republicans haven't flipped anything, but there's a lot of reasons for that if we're 100% honest. Now, it's North Carolina 6. There are some races that I actually expect Republicans to flip. For example, Minnesota set. Really, Minnesota 7? Yeah. Oh, Minnesota 7, I actually did expect that one to be a flip, if I remember correctly. Republicans, I don't think they'll take. Minnesota, yeah, Tina Smith leads Jason Lewis. I've been saying John Lewis. It's Jason Lewis in Minnesota. Michigan, John James continues to run extremely well. We're, like I said, at almost a fifth of the vote. And, well, John James is running well ahead of Trump in Michigan. Wisconsin's going to be a very long night, I suspect. In Ozaukee County, it's not a lot of the vote in there. Winnebago, like I said, that's half of the vote. That's actually kind of major. Madison and Dane County. I don't think anybody really expected Trump to win there. See what happens, but the good thing is, at least in Wisconsin, they're trying to count the votes as quickly as possible. Trump has been catching up in Ohio with every single vote dump. Yeah. Texas, we will know tonight, and it all depends on the margins. Florida, I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I've called it. Oh yeah, they count all early ballots separately just to make sure. Okay. Yeah. North Carolina, Trump is catching up, but actually, Tillis is running ahead of Trump in North Carolina. I thought I maybe said that's possible. Let's look at New Hampshire. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Maine. Trump is still up in Maine, which is... Maine, we are not expecting delays. Suzanne Collins is up. Okay. Trump is still up in the presidential vote in Rhode Island with over a third counted, and he that's not going to last, by the way. It's just amusing to me. Oh, Trump is taking the lead in Kansas. That's not going to go away. Colorado is counting its votes very quickly. Missouri, okay, Trump is gonna overtake Biden there very quickly. Actually shocked. Because Fox has reported numbers from New Mexico, which they haven't called, yet they've called Colorado. But I think part of that is because Colorado has twice as much of the vote in as New Mexico does. And New Mexico, all they have in is Bernalillo County, aka Albuquerque, and Los Alamos isn't in, but that's Santa Fe, and Chavez County, which is deep rural. So, yeah. Look at this. Republicans are kind of doing what they need. Democrats so far have netted one seat in the Senate. Who's that? Who did Fox News call? Oh, they must have called Cory Gardner's loss. Okay. That's almost certainly what happened. Is they called Cory Gardner losing to John Hickenlooper. Oh, Colorado got called for Joe Biden, and I kind of sort of agree with that now that we actually have votes. I'm assuming they've also called Cory Gardner losing to John Hickenlooper, though Gardner is running ahead of Donald Trump in Colorado. Cornyn continues to expand his lead. Did I call New Hampshire for... Yeah, okay. Based off the vote that we have there, which I'm actually shocked because the presidential race hasn't been... Oh, that's why. Shaheen is running far ahead of Biden. Yeah, that was to be expected. Trump's still running very well there. Okay, interesting. Trump is catching up in Pennsylvania. By the way, if Trump actually does take the lead in Pennsylvania, I will absolutely call it at that moment because Philadelphia gets all of its votes in faster than the rest of the state for a lot of reasons under normal circumstances, but it seems like that is not the case here. And I'm very curious as to why, because that is not... Anyway, y'all, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call a stream. I'm just getting ready to go to sleep, honestly. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Take it very easy. Have a nice night. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be doing basically updates when I can over the next couple of days as more votes come in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a very